Alright, my friends. Welcome to MacPaladin's Retro Gaming Emporium. I am, of course, MacPaladin, and on my slightly dark, all-in-one camera here. I'm not sure why that is. I'm going to have to get like a reflector behind me or something to contrast me from the background here. But, as I've been promising since the dawn of forever, this is Akumajo Dracula X Nocturne in the Moonlight for the Sega Saturn. Now, I'm hardly the first person to ever play this, but there's a lot of controversy behind this game, and I'll cover that real quickly before we actually get started. This was actually produced outside the control of the godfather of Castlevania, aka Igarashi, or as we know him as IGA or Iga. And it's a more complete version of the game, and yet he hated it. It has a couple extra dungeon areas. There is a immediately accessible Richter and Maria mode, which were grudgingly included in the PlayStation Portable version in 2008. Just lots of different things here. Some oddities that were brought about because of the Sega Saturn hardware. Interestingly enough, you don't notice it because I'll be playing it using the factory original disc on an emulator. But one of the things that was part of the experience of playing this game is that the Sega Saturn had less RAM, and so as a result, there were weird load screens. Like there's a particularly long section of the dungeon that actually is subdivided in the Sega Saturn version, and so you in the middle of it you get a load screen that you don't get in the PlayStation version. I mean, it just there was some scaling things that were done because of the fact that the Sega Saturn actually outputted its video differently than the PlayStation, and just on and on and on. But there's extra enemies, weapons, cool shit that I feel like me personally, this is the version of the game that should be in like a master collection of Castlevania, because even though the new areas don't add a huge amount, they do add some flavor, and they're pretty cool. You know, you get extra bosses, the castle is more complete. Um, I don't know. I just like it. I don't know how else to explain it. Oh, man. But here we are, at long last. Uh, Dracula X for the Sega Saturn. Apparently, this game is now pretty expensive. I also am hoping that if this is popular, that I'll be able to do quite a few more Sega Saturn titles, because I do have the Sega Saturn Langrisser trilogy, which is the last three of the 5 games in the original Langrisser series. I've got gambling games. I've got the Macross shooter, which actually has some pretty amazing FMV sequences in it that were not included in the original Love Do You Remember / Clash of the Bionoids original movie. And, like Cyberbots, just tons and tons of Sega Saturn stuff that I am now finally able to get around to cataloging and playing. And if all goes well, this will be a second stream on Sundays, because normally we do FPS Shenanigans on Tuesdays. Sundays at 7 Pacific time. Of course, after the time change, I may change that back to 6, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the game here. So of course we'll be playing Richter. We'll be playing Alucard mode, because this is a long play. And if my cats don't stop howling, I'm gonna kill them. All right, let's of course do our traditional and call myself Micaiah. And as I said, we'll be playing Alucard mode. And of course, you can play Richter, Maria, which plays more like the previous game, Rondo of Blood. And I'm surprised at how much English is actually in this game. See how much of my video gets muted for the music too. I'll probably have to talk all the way through the damn thing. Well, here you have the 3D castle. It's not quite as impressive as the PlayStation version. This sequence is a little cleaner in the PlayStation version, but it's not that much different because this is just FFP. The 3D rendering was done long before it ever got input into the game. And as we all know, FMV typically plays better on the Sega Saturn than it does on the PlayStation. PlayStation was geared towards 3D, and that was the hill that Sony wanted to die on, and in 1997-ish, they kind of relented. And that's a long story for another stream. Alright, so we're playing as Richter, because we're completing... This is actually the final sequence of the previous game, so for those of you who are familiar with Rondo of Blood, this scene is very familiar. Although Richter does have some abilities that he didn't really have. Like this running and jumping thing was not really a thing in the original Rondo of Blood. And there's a lot of stuff up here that you can get his Alucard later in the game. I think it's actually converted into heart. No, it's not. But yeah, this running and dashing thing. It actually makes the fight that's coming up a little easier. Now let's see if I can get through it without taking too much damage, because the more damage you take, the lower your initial luck score is when you start the game. Like, it messes with your stats if you don't actually do a good job in this battle.
滅びよ！ここはお前の住む世界ではない。私は自らの力で蘇るのではない。
Is this a bot?
欲深な人間どもによって蘇るのだ。力が唯一の正義なのだからだ。それはお前の勝手な言い草だ。人々は同じ信念のもとで求め合い、集い、そして歩んでいく。だが、現に人間どもは欲望によって発展し、信仰によって統率されてきたではないか。
I have to say the Japanese voices are much more enjoyable to listen to than mankind ill needs a savior such as you. What is a man? Okay, that part's funny. A miserable pile of secrets. Okay, here we go. Oh shoot, that's not fun. Yep, that's okay. It's holy water. That's okay. We can do this with the holy water. Alright, now. Throw the fireballs in. May come as a shock to everybody. I'm actually pretty good at this game. I am missing galore. Probably because people are watching. I'm just going to take it nice and leisurely because, like I said, I want to take as little damage as possible. And I already blew the first hit. Well, I blew that up. There's also a cool chain rattling effect that I didn't the PlayStation version when Richter shoots his whip. They added quite a few things to this game. Like I said, it just feels like a slightly, even though it's flawed and somewhat controversial, this version of the game just feels more complete. Like it's just got a lot of extra stuff that I wish they'd included in the final version of the PlayStation edition. It's oddly fitting that I'm finally doing this near the anniversary of my starting on this channel, because the very first game that I played on this channel was Dracula X Rondo of Blood for the Turbo Duo. Backflip for give you guys a cheap thrill. Now, if I'd have kept the, if I hadn't accidentally lost the cross, then I could have hit him twice per turn. But actually a little bit. Well, I blew that. We're gonna save some Alright, so unfortunately we will not be starting the game with the best stat score as possible. So, this sequence is in English, but it has Japanese voiceover.
行く先を示唆するかのようにある事件が発生した。
I know, right? It does feel odd without the cheesy dub.
蘇るはずのないドラキュラ城が忽然と姿を現したのだ。時を同じくして一人の男にも異変が起きていた。彼の名はアルカーノ。
Ralph C. Belmont.
ラルフ・シー・ベルモンドと共に父であるドラキュラを
Good
滅
old
ぼした
poor
男。
Trevor.
彼は自分の呪われた血を断つために自らその能力を
If I'm not mistaken, the text of this
冷める
is a
こと
wee
のない
bit different.
眠りについたはずだった。だがその眠りは妨げられ、汚れしふるさとが復活したことを知った。そして今
さまざまな思いを抱き、宿命の魂がドラキュラ城に集う。闇に浮かぶ月だけが真実を知る。
Well, Trevor also sounds a little bit more like a medieval European name than Ralph. I mean, how many great Ralphs do you know throughout history, right? Oh boy. Alright, well let's see if I can do a little better on the game itself. Now, a couple of things to note is that throughout this long play, I will actually be doing some off-screening stuff of some very specific, quote-unquote, legal cheats. And that is because I am not doing this for any kind of world record or completionist run or anything like that. I just want to make the game as easy as possible and enjoyable for you to watch as possible. And one of those cheats will be once we get to the outer wall, I will be getting the Medusa shield, and I will also be getting the sword soul at my earliest opportunity and maxing those out. Well, actually the sword and the fairy soul. I will also most likely be doing the infinite money trick. So just giving everybody a heads up on that we're going to start out with, we're going to start out playing it normally, of course. And then I'm going to do some off-screen stuff later that will allow me to make the game infinitely easier. Especially since the maxing out the souls trick simultaneously maxes out your hit points. You can actually get damn near max level by just leaving the game on overnight with the Medusa shield, killing zombies infinitely. I'm afraid I'm here to kill your master.
我らの元に戻れとは申しません。せめて手を引いていただきたい。それはできぬ相談だ。仕方ありませんな。この場は一旦退きましょう。今一度よくお考えくだされ。
Alright, we're actually going to go back this way for a minute. No, actually, I'm going to go ahead and get the first one. This is my favorite piece of Castlevania music right here, next to, of course, Vampire Killer. Right. There we go. There is one other difference in this game, and that is in order to view the map, you have to press the left key on this screen. You have to press the left trigger on this screen. And Alucard has 3 hands, which is a little weird. The third hand is used for item swapping, which is actually kind of an advantageous thing, because instead of having to put your heal potions in your other hand and then press the select key, you have a third hand specifically for that to take advantage of the extra buttons that you have here. So it's kind of weird, but interesting. You also start off with a couple of other unusual items. You start off with a heal potion, but you also get this bomb, which is somewhat useful. Can't remember if it's single use or not. But yep, put your healing items in your third hand, wherever the hell that is, and go to town. Alright, so let's... I never did figure out if there was like something you could unlock with the old rust. Like if you could turn it into something else. And of course you get the cube of Zoe. So now we get drops from the candlesticks. And our first save point. Oh yeah. In some respects, the graphics in this game are a little better than the PlayStation version because this system excelled at two-dimensional graphics. So there's actually extra details. So watch the backgrounds closely, guys, as I play this game, because you will actually see stuff that is not there in the PlayStation version, simply because the PlayStation is, quite frankly, stingy on backgrounds. Yeah, I'm going to go down this way. Come on. The candles are different, and they have a bit of a twinkle to them. They actually have alternating colors, and the flame is more realistic. Sparks. Back off. Can't get that. Get on water. Alright, I'm not ready to take on these guys yet. And of course, flying through here later as the bat will of course unlock a couple of things. Alright. Trying to get a couple of levels here to make things a little easier in the marble gallery. Looks like I'm already in trouble here. Now here's the funny part. A lot of players are not fans of this. I love the diamond accessory. Tippy, come here, buddy. Nope. Nope, you're gonna knock stuff over. Come here, buddy. My cat is immediately to my left over here, looking to jump into an area he can't get to. Tippy, you're gonna knock everything over. Move your butt. Well, it wouldn't be a MacPaladin stream if there wasn't cat interference somewhere along the way, right? Alright. Yeah, maybe this camera won't look so bad if I get some backlighting. Of course, I think that's a different... Bastards. Get out of here. Yeah, I could have gone up there. It would have made sense. You know, there's a lot of things that would have made sense if I'd have just done it. It's okay, kids. I'll get my groove back. Alright, now we have some things. I am actually more of a dual wielder. Golix, what were you owing? I missed that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the diamond accessory, and once I get it, I will show you why I will keep it as long as humanly possible. It is the ultimate boss killer. Especially if you deploy it correctly. It has two ancillary benefits. Number one, when it strikes stuff, it usually paralyzes it for a fraction of a second. And number two, if you can ricochet it properly, it bounces around infinitely and does infinite damage. It also goes up significantly in damage with your attack score. And I know a lot of people hate it, and I believe this is the first and only game that it was included in, but I love the damn thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's the greatest accessory ever created in a Castlevania game. And no one will, and don't at me because no one will be able to convince me otherwise. Not when I have actually killed the doppelganger in like 6 seconds using it before. Yep, sub-weapon. That's what I meant. I believe we did it in this corridor somewhere. God, I hate these things. The dagger is actually pretty damn good in this game, too. I will give that. I will give it that. And like I said, most people prefer the axe. I don't like the lazy arc of the axe. And how slowly it generally operates. Now, one thing we will be going for is best ending, of course. Which, of course, requires, at the minimum, I believe 190% or 187% completion of the castle, but I usually go for 197 or higher. Yeah, the dagger and knife is very spammable, and but like I said, the diamond actually works very effectively, and I try to keep it as long as possible. And Pumpkin, you are not going to be in this video. All right, here we go. There's your cat there's your howling cat in the video. Say hi, Pumpkins. Yeah, that was good. Wow, she just chose violence. Let's go over here. There you go. There's your cat. Yeah, now in Rondo of Blood, for example, the cross and the holy water are my favorite weapons when I play Rondo. But when I play this, it's kind of diamond and dagger all the way because they're so spammable. There is a reason I am here. There was a thing I need to do. I need to put on the Curious. And the new cloak I just found. All right. I don't know. I'm just, you know, it's like Potato always finds out when I play MS Saga or any other game that is traditionally played differently. And that is that I like to play these games in a very contrarian fashion. I think it adds to my interest in it because there are certain things that do get quite tedious when you play these games. I suppose I could just sit here and fight axe armors for a while until I level up enough to kill them with only a couple hits. I'm trying to remember where all the wall breaks are. Alright, here's our next save point, so let's go ahead and use that before I foul up and get poisoned. I will say this right off the bat, though. I am not a giant fan of the Sega Saturn controller, and ironically, in order to get the full experience of playing this even on an emulator, I actually bought a knockoff Sega Saturn USB controller. So, at least the play mechanics of the game play correctly. I know I get a diamond soon. I haven't found the diamond sub-weapon yet, but I will find it. And once I do, there will be chaos and mayhem, the likes of which you have never seen. Well, maybe fighting this boss with the axe then. I hate these guys. least I killed him on the first try. Yep. Slogro and Gaibon. Or as I like to call them, these fucking guys. Yeah, so this is one of those now loading signs you wouldn't actually get in the PlayStation version of this game. God, I really need to find the next weapon. Taught myself a spell. Yeah. I was going to say this earlier, but I grudgingly put on the shield, which I'm a dual wielder. I tend to wear two weapons at all times. And the combat knife is and its style of weapons is one of my favorites. There is actually a weapon later on in the game that you get in the inverted library called the Chrysaegrim, which is this incredibly fast sword type weapon that does immense amount of damage. I'll keep the axe for now. I normally have the diamond by now. Where did it go? Let me check something here real fast. Right? Yeah, once you learn all the moves, I actually have a guide over here on the to my right, but I'm not really using it at the moment. I'm doing as much as I can from memory at the moment. And then I'll come back for all of the things that I quote-unquote missed. I think there's only one or two things in the entire game that you can actually lock yourself out of getting. That's an interesting glitch. At least I landed on the box and did get a double insult. High-speed weapons are more my forte. Alright, we're gearing up a little bit here, so, you know, we're doing a little better than we were a hot minute ago. Yeah, that was the oddity. You can see into rooms that you may not have been able to see into in the PlayStation version. There's like a weird extra scroll you get with the Saturn. Like you can sometimes see into hidden areas of the castle in this version. Yeah, it had this weird overscan. Okay, we do not need to go that way. Jumpin' G. Jehoshaphat. I gotta say, for a knockoff controller, this thing really handles like an actual Sega Saturn controller, right down to its excessively lightweight feel, and the fact that sometimes when you just press stuff, it just doesn't respond at all. Perhaps a little too authentic, hey? You gotta watch it with these guys, because not only do they do an appreciable amount of damage, but they also have the potential for a great deal of knockback. And as we all know from playing Castlevania games, the last thing you want is knockback. There's the diamond sub-weapon. Unstoppable! I feel like I hit the face with an axe. Oh, shit. Got a little cocky there. That was my bad. Took care of that sumbitch. Let's see. I'm not sure if I actually want to go through the marble gallery just yet. Let me double check the bottom of that stairwell. Well, we'll call this area a stairwell. No. Now there's the worst sub-weapon in this game. The Holy Ashes. Extremely bizarre. I mean, if you drop it strategically, it can do massive amounts of damage, but it is so not flexible. And interestingly, I think there's only 2 drops of it in the entire game. Nope, don't want the holy water, but thank you. Also, until you actually get a better main weapon, the diamond is just absolutely brutal. As long as you keep an eye on your hearts, you'll typically be okay with it. They keep trying to make me give it away. But yeah, it's an absolutely savage weapon. And it does increase in power as you go up in level, so. Just checking something real quick here. But yeah, I mean, even with a light in my face, it barely makes any difference. Hi. Spooky. I mean, like, Aria and Dawn of Sorrow don't use it. And part of the reason is because they changed it to the soul system at that point. That and it's more of a Belmont clan thing. You know, so when you play Harmony of Dissonance, for example, I think it's back. Of course, Harmony of Dissonance came out before Aria of Sorrow. So. Of course. The whole Sorrow series really is a game changer because now you're really the villain. You're playing as the villain, trying not to become the villain. Philosophically, it's on a whole different level. Well, it's kind of a cool shield. But I don't know. I just don't use the. In order to actually get the defensive bonus out of it, you have to actually use the shield, and I just don't do it. It's so awkward. In fact, like I said, pretty much the only shield I will use in this game will be the Medusa shield, or if I manage to get it, the Herald shield. Because both do damage to undead. Alright, so now we've got the item that shows us how much damage we're doing. Honesty, it's at this point I go back up and go out to the outer wall because I want to get the wolf soul. Right. It's kind of a weird compulsion that I have, that I always bust every candle I see. Alright, so our first encounter with Maria.
待ちなさい。あなた、闇の力を持ってるわね。見たところ人間のようだけど、この城に来た目的は何？
この城を消すことだ。
私と同じね。その言葉、信じてあげるわ。私マリア、あなたは？
アルカードだ。
不愛想なのね。まあいいわ。生きてたらまた会いましょう。それじゃ、失礼。
Alright. Hold on. I'll get there. Give me my hearts. Man, that was some knockback right there. No, don't want to block this yet. There is an application for the stopwatch because if you use it to get the clock tower to certain points, then some of these doors open at certain times of the day and night. So you can use it to kind of move the clock along. But that's just not something I care to deal with right now. Check the map here real fast. At least we're getting close to the outer wall. Moida, the weird creature with the lady in its tail? Don't mind if I do. Another thing I'm not going to do is try to demonstrate the gargoyle animation of Richter getting turned to stone and then, or Alucard getting turned to stone. It's one of these blasted characters from Castlevania. Yeah, I'm not interested right now in showing the gargoyle off. Not what I wanted. Alright, so now we've gotten to the outer wall. Now these guys are a lot tougher than their green counterparts in the alchemy lab. Take all this in for a second here. Like the hanging bodies here, and the bottle, and the broken door, and the papers. If I'm not mistaken, those are actually only in the Sega Saturn version. The other versions of the game, the walls are pretty much clean. Like they're not completely devoid of details in those versions, but for some reason they decided to include a metric ton of extra art. shot. Apparently this is a really good battle to actually use the stopwatch on. I may lose. Let's think about this for a second. What else have I got here? I do have... Doodles, do not fight me while I'm in a boss fight. Doodles is trying to get on my lap, but she will fail. Do I want to use my bomb? Alright, we'll take a few more hits before... Alright. It's not that it's hard, it's just annoying. There. Good old doppelganger. Alright, so now we get a slightly slower but vastly more powerful weapon. Sort of. I'll take my 1 point. I believe it has a slightly longer reach. And I fell down. Like a dumbass. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first weapon that actually gives you significant critical hits. Well, I needed to go back to the save point anyway, right? So we didn't lose all of our progress defeating the doppelganger and whatnot. Alright, for the moment we'll just go upward. Doodles, get down, please. My cats are being needy. Bestial. Well, beings, come forward. Make life easy for me. Of course, we don't want to leave there yet. We want to turn on the elevator and get the wolf soul. But I am going to activate this keyhole portal. Because it does allow us to do one critical thing here. And that is open up this shortcut. What are you doing, Tippy? What are you doing, kitty? What, you want to be on stream too? Hey, buddy. Over here. There's our big old chunky boy. There he is. This is Tippy. Say hello to the fans. Say hello, Tippy. Hello, Tippy. There he is. All right, go, buddy. Go. Go. Alright, we'll get all the way to the top here and activate the elevator. Oh boy. Unless I have an amazing stroke of luck and get a Medusa shield, I'm not going to be hanging around here. Oh, come on! I got paralyzed there for a minute while I was trying to... so much. My cats are trying to give me an apoplexy over here. I'm trying to remember if I have the agility to actually get into that little gap and get that. Well. Weapons so much. Alright, let's just go back down and get the wolf soul. Clearly that elevator was not meant for mere mortals. Where was that last save point? It's back a wee bit. The problem is that this camera, even though I've downloaded the right drivers a million times, Windows 10 will not allow me to install them. It's built in right here on my all-in-one, and it's an Acer Crystal Eye, but for some reason Acer does not have the true drivers for this. And the driver that's installed says USB 2.0 camera, and the date is 2006. Even the Acer Crystal Eye software, which says 2007, is a newer, better driver. If I remember correctly, when I had Windows 8 installed in this computer, you see the hard drive died, so I took the original operating system and all of the original Acer software with it. But when it had Windows 8 on it, there was actually some third-party software by Cyberlink that allowed you to do gestures like this, that would allow you to zoom in and do stuff with the camera. Yikes. Okay. I actually meant to go down. Because if I can beat this one sub-boss... Let me double check where I'm going here. I can get access to an elevator that gives me certain really cool items. That's a hard bit. And if I get hit again by him, I'm dead. That's right, I can't get past it because I need the mist. Why can't I jump back up here? Are you kidding me? Hey, the boatman's there. So for those of you who are completionists, if you have the axe accessory, sub-weapon, you can kill that bird down there, and it completes your monster guide. Hi, Doodles. I'm so tired of these Medusas. Yeah, so if you can defeat the shield if you can defeat the shield knight, you get access to it now. If you go all the way through and get the mist form, then you can go underneath them and find a little elevator that takes you to a secret area. It basically lets you sneak behind him without having to defeat him. What the hell was I looking for? Actually, at this point, I think we want to use the teleporter, but I'm almost dead, so... And my cat is trying desperately to lay on my lap, which is unacceptable. I told you no. No. No, Doodles. So, this is number 3. Oh, yeah, you escaped, huh? Doodles, you're trying to kill your daddy. Alright, so let's see. I don't want to waste all my healing items, and I have one more. It got dropped by that table and chairs I killed. No, I do not want to go that way. We can evade this. Check the map one more time. Oh, I never went this way. Alright, the library. Although this is one thing that the Sega Saturn doesn't do well, and that is transparencies. So as a result, these enemies look kind of pixelated. Good thing I got that uncursed potion from the first, because when you're cursed, you can't use your weapon. You'll just have to fight him with the sub-weapon until it wears off. Or, you know, avoid it entirely. Evasive skills need some work. Yeah, that's true. They do drop their own solution. Most of the time. You can actually go back and forth and get an unlimited number. Let me out of here. Now I'm going to beat these books on general principle. It's like, who hurt you? Well, it's a complicated story about a book that shoots out weapons. Alright, so now we have the item that identifies our enemies, of course. Those of us who do not read Japanese, it makes it a little more challenging. I'm trying to remember. I hate fighting on the angles. I gotta get the wolf up to speed. Come on, jump! I like how the jump is completely unresponsive in this game. Look at that. never been able to execute that trick. I mean, I could.
G。
これはアルカード様。一体何の用ですかな。
悪いが手を貸してほしい。
お言葉ですが、ドラキュラ様に牙を向いたお方に協力するわけには。
分かっている。それなりの礼はする。
そうですか。それならば何なりとお申し付けくだされ。
これについてだ。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Doodles. Your interference is not welcome. The first thing I was supposed to buy was the blasted library card, so I can warp back to the library at any time. But that's okay.
ではまたのお越しを。
So let's change up a few things here. And for now, we'll keep the combat knife. Alright. And that was a one-time use weapon, because I'm a dummy. I totally forgot that the shuriken was a one-time use weapon. I'm a genius, I tell you. Yeah, in one of the translations they call it a library card, but I totally forgot what this stuff says, so it's okay. Alright, let's see if there's anywhere else in the library we can go at the moment. Alright, so I did manage to pick up the first map. So that gives us some ideas of some additional places we can go. Yeah, there's a trick in this where you're supposed to be able to transport back and forth, and it bounces you up to that level. But I can never execute it properly. Check something else here. And then you can get the fairy card and a couple other things very early on, which makes the game much easier. Because if you get the fairy card, then you can do the infinite money trick much earlier and get the duplicator. Because really all you need is any gemstone. It works with any gem ring. I mean, some people prefer doing it until you have like the ruby or the diamond or something, but you can use, or the garnet, I mean, the diamond or the garnet. But even it works with even the zircon because you get an unlimited number of the item. There's one of those uncursed potions. Go away. So there's a couple of advantages to doing it early if you can, but kidding me? What the hell was that? Sus. Extremely sus. God, I hate this. Well, at least we got to level up. All right. Now we finally have some slightly better armor. Oh my god, get out of here. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, there's death number one, folks. I completely forgot about those guys summoning lightning power. How far did that set us back? I don't even remember the last time I saved. Probably before the whole library thing. Because I don't think I've activated the save point in the library yet. Nope. That's great. All right, it's after 9 o'clock, and I gotta get ready for working and all that stuff. So, so yeah, join us again Sunday at 7. And we will attempt the library one more time. I'm gonna do some stuff off screen here and see if I can get us more substantially powered up than we currently are, and I think that will improve our lot in life quite a bit. But until then, I thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, kids, and of course, don't forget to join us tomorrow for another edition of Last News Desk on the Left. I'm MacPaladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.